hard-fought victory. At the end of the fight, it appeared saw you and Leah hug each other in the ring, and it appeared you were saying something to each other. Do you care to share what was exchanged with you guys at that point?
I don't know now. I don't remember. I know I respect her a lot. I know she respects me a lot. It's always an awkward fight week because I can't talk to opponents. I can't be around them. There's no friendly piece to that for me, you know. So as soon as it's over, it's almost like the embrace gets to happen. And like, I know how hard I worked. I know how hard she worked. Like, we went to war, and you know, there's something there.
It definitely looked like a sign of respect, absolutely. At any point in the fight, when it had gone to the judges, what was it that was going through your head as you were writing the decision?
I knew I did a lot more damage than her, and when she got into good positions, she kind of just held position. She didn't really do anything with it, and then when I got into good positions, I did a lot of damage. So, you know, I can see why she would be disappointed. You know, it was a very big adjustment for me, her being so tall. You know, I felt like as I was trying to throw these kicks at her, I was aiming, you know, above even my head because she's so much taller than me, and that kind of made it weird for my stance and my posture, which kind of took my own feet out from under me, you know. So, you know, I feel like she did a good job, and I did a good job. I think when it came down to the decision, it really came down to damage.
Hey Cat, Cade Morehouse with the Combat Lounge. You look great tonight. You got caught in some bad positions and were able to get out of them. Did you expect this fight to have this much grappling in it? Leah said before the fight she doesn't really grapple that much. So how did you feel she held up in that department?
Oh, I thought I heard before the fight that she said that she does grapple a lot. Yeah, it was kind of weird. It was kind of weird knowing her pedigree and my pedigree, and that it was kind of judo, jiu-jitsu versus wrestling, jiu-jitsu. And I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't really know what to think, especially with her size and how that was going to turn out. So, you know, I just tried to go in open-minded, and, you know, I trained hard at what I trained at, and some of it worked, some of it didn't, you know. So ultimately it was a good fight, and I felt like, yeah.
Maybe I misunderstood her, but you have fought the best of the best. Where does Leah rank amongst them now that you guys have shared the cage together?
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. It's a hard thing for me to gauge right now.
Okay, when would be an ideal time to set up that title fight?
I mean, I'd like to keep momentum. Too much time between fights always feels kind of weird, and to have to go back into like almost forgetting how it feels and getting out of shape, and like that valley between, you know, I guess the training for it can be tricky. So ideally it would be cool if it's within like the next 6 months, something like that.
And then last one for me, you've been around a long time, like I said, fought the best fighters in the world. If this win does grant you a title fight, is this the last title run that we'll get from Cat Zingano? Or do you feel like, you know what, I have more left in the tank for years to come?
I mean, it's punch by punch, fight by fight, breath by breath at this point, you know. I like what I'm doing. I'm still having fun, and I'm still good at it, you know, so it's, you know, that's where it's at.
Congratulations, Cat, on a hard-fought victory.
Thank you.
Hey, Cat. The other day you mentioned the last years of your career, starting with this fight here. When it's all said and done, whenever that day comes, what kind of stuff do you want to be remembered by? Such as that insane scream you did after the whose fight was that? Amanda Nunes fight. Yeah, that scream was awesome.
I don't know. I don't think about all that. You know, it's still very present, still very, you know, right now, and yeah. I don't know. I don't think about that.
Okay, and it seems like you became kind of friendly with Leah. Are you still going to have that beer with her?
I think so. I don't think we're doing it out of a shoe or whatever happens over there. But yeah, I like her. I respect her. I think she's a badass, and she's very worthy opponent.
Good to see that you guys made friends, and congrats on the win.
Congratulations on the win, Cat. It was an awesome fight. You two were going back and forth. She would have your back, you would take her back. Talk about the grind throughout that fight. Does that fit into your mentality, your style, more maybe than hers?
Moments felt weird, it was, I knew that it was again, it was grappling, judo, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, all of that, and there was points where I was kind of like, which sport are we doing right now, I know there was kicks in there, I know there was knees in there and elbows in there, and it just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of happened, it just kind of, everything just happened.
It looks like she caught you with one good punch. I don't know if we could call it being dropped, but she got you with a good shot. Do you remember this punch?
I felt really awkward with how tall she was. Like, I don't feel like I got caught hard with the punch. I almost felt like I was on my heels and got pushed backwards and landed on my ass. Not to take away from the punch, but there's things about her length and her reach that, like, I did not expect. That I didn't, I would say I prepared for, but I really didn't have anyone as tall as her around. So some of it was just kind of shocking to me. She has a lot of body, she had a lot of distance, and trying to time that with kicks, trying to time that with height. Like, it was definitely a challenge for me to try to figure that out on the fly.
It seemed to me that the biggest difference between the two of you in this fight, when the judges were considering it, was damage. You inflicted tons of damage on her. She was wearing it. Can you talk about what separates you from these other women? Because from the outside, it seems to me that there's a mentality difference. When you get on top, you're trying to hurt them.
I mean, it's that. I don't get in here for fun. I don't get in here just to participate. Like, I really want to win, and I know a part of winning means you have to hurt people, and you have to cause damage, and I'm always looking for those cuts. Like, I'm always looking for the blood. I feel like a shark when that happens, and there are moments that I can honestly say I take personally in there. If someone does something to me in front of all of these people, like, I want to get them back, so that, makes me, think and readjust and move into positions to, get my lick back,
You got the win. What is next for you? And why don't you tell me, what is the ideal situation for Cat Zingano? What would you like to see next?
This fight was initially offered to both me and Lee as a vacant title fight, which would have been awesome. It's cool to see myself still in that number one position right now. And I really don't know what Bellator is going to do with that for right now. It seems like it is a vacant title. It seems like there's nobody important above me at the moment. So I guess we just have to see what happens with that.
Thank you, Cat.
Hey, Cat, right over here. You've achieved just about everything there is to achieve in this sport. So many, everything. I'm wondering, how much do you credit Mr. Ed Soares for all you've accomplished in this fight game?
Ed is like this big uncle, brother, support friend, that I've had through everything hard, and everything good. And I don't even want to get emotional. I might get emotional, but he was around before I could even get into the UFC, before they were even figuring out if they were going to do this thing with women, and just came to the gym. I think it was the WEC days. He was bringing Jose Aldo into my gym, and we were all having crazy rounds and having food after, watching fights, and it was just such a culture. Ed is a culture in himself, and it's been a really supported, wonderful journey, and the hard times have been easier because of Ed, and the good times have been a wonderful thing to share.
Thank you. Congratulations.
All right. Thanks, Kat.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.